Hello, beautiful people. Well, welcome to the lunar eclipse. Officially, it's tomorrow, but you're going to start feeling the effects. I mean, whenever there's a full moon, you always feel the effects of that before and after the actual full moon. So today, when you look up in the sky later on tonight, the moon is going to look full. The lunar eclipse is almost upon us. Full moons usually have to do with completion. Now, it can be a project that you're working on that you're completing. It can be an idea that you're working on that needs completing if it's not completed. Or it could be perhaps habits that are outdated. Like I've been harping about no consumerism and getting on the no buy year because a lot of the habits that have to do with how we spend money and get caught and brainwashed by the marketing system and propaganda causes us to feel out of control in our lives because we're spending money on stuff and things that we're not really seeing a payback for. So, moving on, here we have this lunar eclipse. Now, so this is a very emotional feeling eclipse, and according to the top astrologists that I've listened to, this is not going to happen again for close to 700 years, where the power that is present in this particular lunar eclipse. I mean, of course, lunar eclipses will happen, but this is an extremely powerful one. So how can you use the energy of the lunar eclipse to benefit you? Okay, number one, I would say be aware for very clear signs from the universe, from your heart, from your soul, from your spirit. And this is the way something like a message would show up for you. It could be a bird that lands on your fence and looks at you, and for some reason you get a thought in your head. It could be a homeless person that says something to you that for some reason symbolizes much more than what they might be saying. All around you, you're going to find signs being given to you about how to make your life happier. Okay, let's just go there. You don't fail. You don't fail at life. Doors open and you walk through them, or you don't. And this lunar eclipse is a door opening. And the door opening is for you to understand yourself at a higher level. And let me make this clear. That doesn't mean you have to change your life completely right now. What it does mean is that you have to be honest with yourself right now. And once you get honest, everything will flow from that. So today I would take time to sit in nature. If you have crystals, I would sit with your crystals. If you want to listen to something like a double drumming tape on YouTube, that'll help put you in a more subconscious space where you can welcome in the messages and ask for them directly, because we're all a conduit to our own spiritual self, right? And the whole united self that is the whole of us. So we can tap into things. This is quantum physics. It sounds new agey. It's actually both, oddly. Quantum physics has gotten to the place where it's about as freaky deaky magic as anything I ever heard back in the late 80s in California. In any case, I'm a firm believer in the frequency of the planets, and so is Einstein, because it was based on Pythagorean theory, and is based on Pythagorean theory, which is math. So, back to feeling. So that's always the issue. That's what Einstein said about astrology. The problem with astrology wasn't that it wasn't a true science, because it was based on math, and he believed it was a true science. But how do you take that math and overlay it on a human being's personality, their life, their future? That takes an interpretation right? It's kind of going from left to right brain. So let's look at this lunar eclipse, because when it comes to the moon, we're really dealing with feelings, feelings, feelings. So I would say, if nothing else, let your feelings guide you. That does not mean let your feelings divide you. Don't go into chaos. Don't go drinking too much. Don't go escaping or going into escapism. I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, a little bit. I mean, have fun. It's like, it's not like you're being given a test or something in college, but you are being given an opportunity. So I always say, embrace things with your highest frequency and with joy. So do something joyful today, but be present. Sorry, I had to have a sip of coffee there. And I would also say, focus on what brings you joy, like the feelings of what brings you joy. Because so many times I work with clients and they want money, right? Everybody wants money. It's an energy you can do a lot of things with, right? But ultimately, I've worked in high-end rehabs, $100,000 a month, and sure, maybe they're the only people that can afford them, but those rehabs are full of super, super rich people that are just miserable and killing themselves with drug and alcohol, pharmaceuticals, mostly is the biggest one. In any case, be aware today. Be easy on yourself today. We're entering a portal, without a doubt, in this lunar eclipse. And while you're being honest with yourself, maybe identify for yourself what's not good in your life anymore. Because this is about endings also. And I always find it's better to choose what you want to end rather than let the universe push you into doing something. Because when something needs to change, then it's inevitable, right? Because change happens. It's like progression happens, evolution happens. So it's all about, how do we deal with that? And I always say, bend, grasshopper, bend like the leaves, Don't get stuck like the mountain, in these times. Be open to what's being shown to you. And if you want to do a little ritual to celebrate this, you could write down something that you're really ready to let go of. Let's put it this way. Maybe there's a habit or something that you do that you don't think is really good for you in the long run, that maybe you've already identified, like, this is not good for me, but you haven't been able to stop doing it or let it go. Today, just write that down on a piece of paper and meditate on it. And then tomorrow, we're going to burn that on the lunar eclipse. And then we're going to ask for, the guidance and the divine love to bless us with a greater version of ourselves. Because in essence, this is a lot like a molting energy to me. And the truer self is trying to emerge, right? So that birth in itself can be pretty dramatic, sometimes not so pretty, but it's also beautiful and beyond measure a miracle, right? So harness that miracle. Good luck with that. No, I'm only kidding. People are saying that this is a lot like a roller coaster ride, but I love roller coaster rides. And, when we were young, we all loved roller coaster rides, and this is what I know for sure. Only love is real, and security is an illusion. So, welcome to the game on Earth. I love you all, and I'm wishing you high frequencies, and have a wonderful, fabulous lunar eclipse. Bye.